Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now obviously this type of content is a little different than my usual content on this channel, but it's definitely something that I've wanted to make for a while now. Lately I've been playing a game called POI that I'm a really big fan of, and a lot of other people are too. It's sort of like a spiritual successor to the early games in the Mario series, which are already some of my favorites, so it was a match made in heaven for me. One of the most interesting aspects of this game are the challenge stages, and in today's video I'm going to give you the proper routes and techniques to get into the top 10 in almost every single challenge stage in POI. The reason that I say almost and not all is because due to the nature of the game being in early access, the challenge stages change from time to time, which makes the levels more or less difficult than the previous versions. However, they do not clear the leaderboards when they release a new patch, so some levels are actually impossible to break into the top 10 as of the time of this upload. Really quickly, it is worth mentioning that I won't be showing off my absolute fastest times that I've ever ran, and that has nothing to do with me not wanting to share my strategies, but it's because I do not want to sift through hours and hours of footage from my multiple attempts to try and claim the record. But rest assured, you are going to get all the best possible tips I know to match my best times. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. The first challenge level is called Puzzle Tower. For the sake of this video, I'm going to be slowing down the footage and explaining what I'm doing each step of the way. When you start off, you want to do a roll jump into a double jump to land on the second ledge here. When climbing the ledges, take your hand off the analog stick. You want no directional input when pressing A to make these climbs. On the last ledge, double jump up to the platform next to it, and be sure to land as close to the edge as you can so that you can get a good roll jump over to the next platform. From there, double jump onto this ledge and then use the same stationary jump mechanics to make your way to the top. From this position, you can do one of two things. In this demonstration, I roll over onto this platform and make my way toward the final stretch. The route I'm using here is safer and far more consistent, but if you're interested in a more risky alternative strategy, I'll link you to one in the description below. Now from here, we will make our way over to the top of this platform. Be sure to space your jumps accordingly so as not to waste time here. Use a double jump toward the medallion, and then you're finished. Netting a time similar to this will place you into the top 10. Now, let's watch it in real time. The next challenge level is called Super Slide, and as I mentioned earlier in the video, this is one of the levels that was changed from previous versions and unfortunately can no longer be placed into the top 10. But I'm still going to show you my strategy for quick completion. I would recommend grabbing the magnet tool upgrade from Grandpa if you don't already have it, because it makes this level and a few more to come up fairly easier. You're going to want to do a roll jump at the start, and then simply slide down the intended path. Upon getting the second key, you're going to want to jump from the ledge here. Be careful not to hit anything on your way down, as this causes you to lose a ton of momentum. Try your best to land directly on top of the third key. A jump from the third key platform to the fourth key platform is possible, but unfortunately right here I had to do a double jump because I did not have proper spacing. From there, it's a simple ride down. Be sure to keep your jumps low when moving from platform to platform, as jumps with a high arc waste just slightly more time because you linger longer in the air. Jump off toward the final key, and as you collect it, be sure to jump. Don't wait until you reach the end of the platform to jump, because if you do, once again, you're going to lose all momentum. Here they added a cutscene which extends even the fastest runs by roughly 4 seconds from previous patches. Sadly, this cutscene prevents you from getting a top time here. However, I'm sure this will be fixed in future patches. Let's go ahead and watch it again in full motion. Coming up next is probably my favorite challenge stage of them all. It's called Floating Skygrid. In my opinion, this is one of the most challenging stages to get down, but also one of the most rewarding and fun. To start off, you're going to want to roll right, and then land into a double jump so that you can land on the key 1 platform. Then do another roll jump directly into key 2, and then double jump out of that onto the nearby platform. From here, you're going to want to roll directly into key 3 and then die. The death will spawn you back at the start, where you will roll onto this platform to set yourself up to grab key number 4. From here, roll your way back toward key 5. There are a lot of different outcomes that can happen during this roll. Even making the full jump from key 4 to key 5 is possible, but here I just happen to get the B bounce, which doesn't waste too much time. From there, we roll again to key 6, and then double jump in place on that platform to gain enough height to take you up to where you need to finish off to get key 7. Now that we've seen the strategies, let's watch it again in full motion. So for the next challenge stage, I'm going to be doing things a little differently than before. Given that this stage is much longer than most of the other challenge stages, and it involves a lot of tedious waiting, I'm going to simply show the strategies I use in real time. I feel like slowing this one down would add artificial length to the video, and there's just not a lot to be said about this stage given the way it was designed. It's just basically a climbing stage. I suppose the one part I should cover would be this section right here, as it is about the only technical aspect of the run. Once you make your way onto these platforms, do your best to jump off of them and then double jump on top of the platforms themselves. This trick is rather finicky and unreliable, however it is pretty necessary to prevent yourself from losing huge chunks of time. Now that I've covered that, let's watch the run in real time. The next level coming up is nice and simple. Quake Run is all about timing and spacing. As long as you get a good start on this level, you aren't going to struggle at all. All you want to do is do 3 roll jumps at the start. Be sure to land up here into another double jump. When you land, continue roll jumping. From here, it's just about making sure you leave your character enough space to get a full roll jump toward the next platform. As you can see, I weave my way across multiple sides of the map to make sure I land in areas that are large enough for me to get a nice roll. Finally, make a roll toward the medallion. Now that we've covered the essentials, let's watch it again in real time. There are actually 2 pretty simple levels in a row. Lava Pit Dash is very similar in execution to Quake Run. However, spacing and rotations become even more important here. At the start, you want to roll off to the left, and then continue rolling this way. Once you get here, be wary of the rotations of the fire. There are actually some rotations that make this particular strategy much slower because of the flame rotations. Some are nearly undodgeable in the places you would want to land. If this happens, simply return to the sky and re-enter the level. Be sure to continue roll jumping, making sure that you get the maximum distance if possible. Then simply jump on top of the first white platform, roll jump one more time, and then land into another roll jump to get a boosted jump toward the medallion. Now let's see it again. Up next is one of the more long-winded levels, but it's still a lot of fun. The strategy I use at the start is for the sake of consistency, and I'll display that here. However, I will also point out that a full jump from platform 1 to platform 2 is actually possible, but highly inconsistent. Once you've made your way to platform 2, make your way across the gap and then do a stationary jump into a boosted jump to flip up to the second tightrope. From here, jump toward the right side of the floating stone to avoid the snake on top, and then wall kick off of it. From here, get a running start and bounce off of the snail so you can get just enough distance to grab the edge of this platform. Once you are up, make your way to these beams and then snap jump your way towards the right pillar and then kick off of it. With proper spacing and some admitted luck, you're going to land on top of the checkpoint. From there, make your way across this section by hugging the gray borders. Do your best to remain on the borders themselves. However, that can be easier said than done, and here I had to use the ropes toward the end. Now for the final stretch, once again, wall kick off of these beams to make your way towards the top, and then simply jump your way across the wires to acquire the medallion. Now, let's see it in full motion. Spike Roller is one of the quickest stages out of all the challenge stages, and yet is one of the hardest to place into the top 10. To start out, you're going to want to do a sharp roll jump to the right, and be sure to land roughly in the middle of the roller, because landing too far to the right is going to kill you. Continue to roll jump forward, avoiding the spikes, and then once you make it here, jump off towards this island. From here, run across to this ledge, and then roll jump toward this set of spikes. If timed correctly, they should send you upwards toward the medallion. Now, let's watch it back in real time. So the next stage isn't really complicated at all, and as I stated, I do want to cut out any artificial link to the video that I possibly can, so with this one, we are just going to watch it in real time from the very start. So the 10th and final stage has the single most complexity to it over any other stage, but it's arguably one of the best. Start off by doing a hard roll jump to the left toward the yellow platform. Once you land on key 1, you're going to want to start performing stationary jumps into a triple jump to get the timing just right for this landing. From here, you can do a standard jump over to key 2 and then land into a double jump, but be sure to face the other direction as you jump. Roll toward the green platform and be careful to avoid the flames as you pick up key 4. When collecting keys 5 and 6, you have to be very careful to avoid the flames, because being hit here, it is very hard to make the proper rotation over to the blue platform. Make sure you arrive here before the spike roller does. Be sure to get in front of it while managing to collect key 7. Now make your way toward the final key. A cutscene plays here, and the spike roller continues to rotate during the cutscene, so in order to avoid it, you must reach key 8 by a similar time. Once it ends, roll your way back towards the start to claim your medallion. Finally, let's watch it once again at full speed. And that about wraps it up, everyone. I do hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you did, let me know by leaving a like. It's free to you and it keeps me motivated to keep making more videos. This video did take a little longer than usual to make, but I'll be back on my regular schedule now that this project's been completed. It's actually been pretty fun to make, and I'm glad that this one's finished up. So enjoy your day, and hopefully we'll be seeing you back again soon.